Mitch, do you think we should have you call to order first, or is that for the pro tem chair once?
I think probably have to temporary do it.
Sounds good.
Does anyone want to volunteer?
Do we usually nominate somebody or just?
Yeah, but I think have someone volunteer to
I'll
have us
nominate
vote.
Fletcher.
I mean, I'm happy to do it unless Christian wants a practice run. Good meeting for it.
The newest member. I don't feel comfortable yet. It hasn't
Fair
been.
enough. Fair enough. Okay.
Working up to it. Working up to it.
So what? All right. So. Okay. So I guess I accept Erica's nomination.
There a second?
Yes, I'll second that.
Then I guess roll call vote. Christian,
Aye.
Fletcher,
Aye.
Erica.
Aye.
All right, so that passes. I'll hand it off to our temporary chair.
Thank you. All right, I'll call to order this meeting of the Greenfield Conservation Commission at 6:32 p.m. on 12/27/2022. And all commissioners are present with the exception of Commissioner Lindsay and Drury with notice. Just a note, even though I don't see anybody else here, just for posterity, we'll say this meeting is being held virtually, and if any technical interruption occurs, the meeting will not be resumed, and all agenda items will be continued to the next meeting. This meeting is also being recorded by the commission. If anyone else is recording, you're required to let us know. And hearing nothing, the first item on the agenda, excuse me, is approval of meeting minutes for December 13th, 2022. Do we have any motions or comments on the minutes?
I had one comment, and this is really nitpicky, but I was confused when I read through the minutes the first time on the last sentence on the last page, which says NEP intends to perform the work as exempt maintenance in accordance with the Wetlands Protection Act. And I think that's obvious that it's the New England Power Company, NEP. But since there wasn't like New England Power Company with parentheses saying NEP after it, the first time that I read it, I was like, what is NEP? Does that mean DEP? I don't know. I was confused for just a split second. So
Yeah, I can clarify. That's a
yeah,
good
maybe
note.
just put like parentheses
Yeah.
NEP after that, New England Power Company. It's really stupid, but I just think that would be helpful in the future. If
No, you're right. That's probably not obvious reading it.
that was my only comment. Otherwise,
Cool. I had one comment on the 286 Plain Road description, just that I think based on the issue that sort of caused him to be here this time around, which was like the confusion on action taken by the commission. I would just suggest clarifying that a little more as to where we left it with him as to next actions. Because it sort of just describes the overall scenario, but it doesn't necessarily say the next steps. So if we needed to look back at the minutes, I think it would be helpful to have that in there.
Okay, that's a good note.
Cool. All right. Any motions on that?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes per the comments we just discussed.
Second.
All right, seconded by Erica. Let's see if there's any, do you have any objections to approving the meeting minutes? No. Okay. All right, so that passes. And then get back to the agenda here. So next thing is our only public hearing tonight, which is a notice and intent on Health Camp Road, continued from the last meeting. Is Tracy here? Yep, there she is. Hi, Tracy. Oh, we can't, we can see you, but
Hi, good evening, everybody. Happy
it's
holidays.
just delayed, it
Everybody
looks like.
Can't hear me? Okay.
We can
Give me
now.
1 second. Hold on.
Okay. A little bit of out of sync going on.
Is that better?
Yeah, there we go. It's all lined up
Okay.
now.
Sometimes opening the door to the office helps. So,
Wow.
sorry about that.
Oh,
Who knows?
man. It's high tech.
Mhm.
All right. All right. So do you want to, continuing from last time, we were stuck on the NHESP response to the new project?
Yeah,
And
sure. I can just give a quick update.
That'd be great.
So Natural Heritage sent a letter basically stating that they have no issue with the project. All the same sort of items that came up under the last meeting or under the last project still stand. Basically, that the project is within turtle habitat, and if project work is expected to occur during turtle season, which starts April 1st, that we'll fall back under our operation and maintenance plan that we'll need, to scan do turtle scans, things like that, which are all under the New England Power Company operation and maintenance plan that we typically do. And then we'd also need to reach back out and just, give Natural Heritage a heads up that we're doing work within season. The plan right now is to not be doing work within season, which is part of why we're asking for a notice of intent approval now, is so that we can complete work outside of turtle moving season, so that it shouldn't be a problem. Other than that, they didn't have any significant response other than things looked good. So, which is what we were expecting, but it's always good to see it in writing.
Great. Thank you. And Mitch, that's you sharing your screen, so we have a copy of the letter, it looks like.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I think we covered all the other details of the project last meeting, if I remember correctly. And so someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we need to decide yea or nay to issue an order of conditions tonight, and what if any special conditions should be added for the project.
Do we have a copy of what we issued for special conditions the last time this applicant came before us? Because I imagine it'd be pretty similar.
Mitch, are you
Yeah, I can pull that up.
able to share that? Great.
Yep. Amend the NOI as discussed. Add the BLSF with elevations to the resource area map.
Oh, is
Yeah.
BLSF shown on the existing plan?
For this one, it is, yes.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yep.
And a list of potential seed mixes.
And we're going to use the same seed mix that you approved last time.
Okay. And I saw there was a letter from you, I think it was for this one, to asking for permission to add winter rye. And is that something that sort of went forward, or?
We did do that. Yes, that was approved. And the reason we did that, just given the time of year, and it's going to be the same sort of situation again, that sort of seed in particular tends to sprout much more rapidly than some of those native seed mixes, which can kind of help to stabilize the area a bit faster. So same idea. In the springtime, the winter rye would sprout more readily and more quickly than that native seed mix, which would help to stabilize it faster. So we would want to add that again, as long as you would approve it.
And is that an annual plant?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, winter rye is one of those. So like if you're driving along the highway, a lot of DOTs will use it a lot of Department of Transportations will use it for that same reason, just that it helps to stabilize things rapidly. So get some roots in the ground as quickly as possible.
So it's just an annual plant, and then when you put down the perennial seed mix, it's just a temporary stabilizing plant, but the later seed mix will be a more permanent restoration mix.
In theory, really, you're not weed at that site is going to be the unfortunate stabilizer for the bank there. But yes, initially, yes, that wildflower seed mix, and it was doing quite well in the area that we seeded last time when I was over there over the summer. So hopefully we'll see kind of same results again.
Mitch, do you want to bring back up the OOC?
Yeah, I can pull that back up.
I think we usually head down to the special conditions. Tracy, have you recently taken a look at the
I
conditions
did,
from
yeah.
last
I think mostly what you had, the sort of special conditions that you added were regarding the bordering land subject to flooding, the seed mix, and then a lot of it looked like just basic boilerplate, what you would include in your typical order of conditions, you know, prior, during, and after construction sort of considerations. So I don't remember there being anything beyond the seed mix that was like really that exciting.
unique.
Do we have
unique
any
to the
kind of
project, yeah.
condition
Sorry,
that
unique was
craft
the word I was looking at.
references? Do we have any condition that craft references the heritage conditions? Like, I don't think it's not, we just want to like cite that.
No, there's something in there
Okay.
stating that we must follow the natural heritage. If you scroll back up, Mitch, I'm sorry, I think it's there's something basically stating that we have to follow what was under that as well, if I remember correctly. I actually saw it a second ago. Keep going. Sorry.
Okay.
Might just be my computer lagging too.
I'm gonna paste a link for the commissioners in the chat there to open the document in case you're interested.
Yeah, my internet might be slow. We just got internet back after being out for 4 days. Power, estimated habitat, endangered species. I feel like it would be based something in there, but I'm not positive. I'd have to. Is there anything in there that was stating that we have to follow anything? Oh.
I think that the big species is the wood turtle, so there'd be a timing restriction, Mitch.
Mhm.
So if we've got something in the boilerplate that I think it should
That
cover.
there was the review.
Can you guys still hear me? Okay, great. Thanks. Just wanted to double check.
I mean, the letter would be part of the approved plan documents. So I think that's just included,
Yeah, and
but they would follow that.
I mean, it's laid out in the regulated areas before the conditions are listed. Estimated habitat and rare endangered species, there's a reference to the Natural Heritage Program and a narrative from the applicant regarding it. So we may want to, let's see. I think I'm looking at the old one.
Do we have the new conditional no take from Heritage, the conditional response letter? On the Google Drive?
Yeah, it should be in there. You mean this?
Okay, so. Will not adversely affect the actual resource area habitat, which means estimated habitat, which is our jurisdiction. But then there's a conditional no take. Which sounds like it's a timing restriction. So if they can meet the wood turtle inactive season construction period, they're gonna be fine for Heritage, so. So I'm sorry, Mitch, can you remind me in our special conditions, do we have anything that just states that construction will comply with heritage conditions or something global like that?
I didn't see it just when I looked. I don't know if you want to just add that just to be safe.
Yeah, I don't see it in the old one myself. So, I mean, I imagine it's covered in the structure of the document overall, but I don't see a harm in adding it.
I think that's pretty standard.
All right. Kristen, did you have a suggestion on wording for the condition, or at least the focus? Is it more about the timing, or just following the letter or the conditions laid out in the letter?
Yeah, I would keep it vague. I mean, so technically our jurisdiction is for estimated habitat, not priority habitat. And the heritage letter said that they opine that this is not going to adversely affect the actual resource area habitat. So sort of nebulous, like I would be really vague. I would just say, you know, applicant shall adhere to conditions issued by natural heritage. That's it. That'd be my recommendation.
Okay.
I mean, we do have, this section at the top where the work permitted under this order shall conform to the following list of approved documents, and that letter would be under there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that seems to do what we were just discussing, I think.
If
Yeah.
if this letter is going to be attached to the recorded, I mean, if this special conditions is going to include the natural heritage letter at the registry, then I think that would be sufficient. But if not, then I would like to include a special condition that actually references specifically what that letter was stating. Do you know what I mean? Like if it's going to be part of the record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think typically it wouldn't be recorded, so you could add that.
Mitch, you're saying add the letter or the special condition referencing?
I think either or.
Yeah. Okay. I would say add the letter just because this this section seems to function as the special condition essentially. So, Tracy, does that sound reasonable? I don't know if you've ever sort of dealt with this same focus before. Or...
Yeah, no, I think just sort of, you can absolutely add that. I've definitely had other conservation commissions sort of just reference quickly, like, hey, like, here's what DEP asked of you, please make sure that condition is met, or hey, here's what Natural Heritage Bureau, please agree to that. So
Mhm.
those are all very reasonable things to me, so.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. The commissioner's happy with having the text in the first section reference the letter and then including the letter in the OOC? Or,
Some kind of figure it-
yeah. What do you think, Kristen?
Well, it's funny. So Heritage, I've been seeing lately for like maybe the last 3 or 4 years, Heritage has been requiring applicants to record their conditional responses or take responses at the Registry of Deeds. We always require it in our orders, but I've been seeing that required from Heritage lately. So that it should all be, you know, queryable, I guess if that's a real word, on the Mass Lands database.
Mhm.
But it can be like troublesome for somebody to cross-reference all these different documents. It's nice to have them all in one place. So I was just thinking either have a condition that states, you know, the applicant should follow whatever Heritage is recommending. As opposed to referencing a letter that may not be attached to our special conditions.
Mhm.
That's all I
Okay.
was saying.
It sounds like, Mitch, do you know if there would be any issue in including the letter with the OOC?
No, I don't think that would be an issue.
Okay. So I guess, Kristen, my question is, given the call out of the letter in the first section of the OOC, but not in the special conditions and attaching the letter, does that seem sufficient, or would you still suggest a condition in the special conditions along with
Nope, that seems totally sufficient to me. I just like everything being together, even if it's repetitive. Sometimes when you pull up one document, if the referencing documents aren't attached, it can, or they're not recorded, it can be hard to find them. So it's, as long as it's all organized, I'm happy.
Makes sense.
That sounds good.
Okay. All right, that sounds like a plan. So thinking back to last meeting and rereading some of the notes, I didn't hear any specific construction processes or new conditions that would suggest we should be adding a new special condition to this, but I don't know if other commissioners did see such a thing or remember such a thing, or if Tracy, you have any suggestions on that front. But it sounds like last time we were mainly concerned with the replanting and maybe the floodplain stuff, and the replanting was more or less settled, and I believe is reflected in the current boilerplate. Mitch, I don't know if you have a confirmation of that, but I think it is.
Of what? Sorry?
The native plant species.
The seed
And the
mix,
seed
is that what you're?
mix.
Yeah, that's definitely in there. Yep.
Right. Yeah, I see it now. But so, are there any other special conditions that any commissioners can think of that we need to add to our boilerplate, given that it was updated?
One thing we talked about at the last meeting was a dewatering plan, and Tracy, you said that there isn't one, but you don't think you'll need one. I would just maybe ask, if you do need one, would we want, as a commission, an opportunity to look at it beforehand? Or is this the kind of thing that's gonna be like an emergency, like, oh, we're drilling, we hit water, we have to do water, and now it's a mess, and we
We
don't have
have-
time.
We have a standard dewatering plan that we have, like just sort of in place if necessary, basically stating that water needs to be pumped outside of resource areas, that sort of thing. If you would like, I don't have it on me right now. Actually, hold on. Let me see if I do have it.
It's
before I tell
fine,
you
but
what it is.
Well,
should we reference
well-
anything like you will follow your standard O&M procedures or something like that? I just want to make sure that there's some sort of protocol that's addressed so that if it isn't followed, it can be traced back. You know what I mean?
We have on our standard OOC, I believe at number 42, the commission shall be notified of any necessary dewatering activities prior to commencement. And if necessary, they shall be continuously monitored to ensure that sediment-laden water is appropriately settled prior to discharge toward the wetland resources. No discharge of water is allowed directly into an area subject to jurisdictions of the Wetland Protection Act. So that's number 42 on our
Okay,
OOC.
I think that's sufficient. There were some recent NIPD's changes. This project probably won't trigger it because it's under the threshold for acreage, but there is some turbidity monitoring required for NIPD's permit. So I just think that it's good for us to kind of globally think about that moving forward. So I think that's sufficient.
Okay. Just want to look and make sure that's on our draft as well here. I actually don't see it on our boilerplate, so maybe that, oh no, I do see it. Search just did not pick that up for some reason.
You said it was 42.
Yeah, but I do see it now. It's in the draft. And I think from the last project at the same location, there was an issue with erosion controls being removed before I think, post-construction inspection
Right.
or stabilization. And that's now, well, I guess it was in there before, so we didn't really need to change anything, but that's in there, and I know Tracy acknowledged that last time. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're good
Sorry
on that.
about that.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to trying to remember the sticking points from last time, but I think so far we're covered.
So I do actually have our O&M dewatering plan. I don't know if it would be helpful for me to send it along, or if you just want to use your own standard boilerplate language stating, what I think you said you had it in there, or at least found it. So
Yeah, we have a general call to action for if there's any dewatering, where to be notified, and then able to monitor if necessary. But
okay, perfect.
Right. Let's see. So as far as I can tell, we're pretty well covered with our updated draft conditions. Kristen, I saw you scoping something out there. Are you still,
I'm
is there
good.
anything that comes to mind? Okay,
Nope, I'm good.
all right. I mean, I feel pretty good about it. We had the last very similar project, which we learned a couple things from, and they're integrated here, so I feel good about that. Let's see. So we could take a motion, we could dig into any other questions commissioners had.
I guess just to make sure
Oh, yeah.
if there's any issues with the in perpetuity conditions, just because it's a right of way and we've had issues with that in the past.
Good call, good call.
Were there any issues with those, Tracy?
Like with the making sure that it doesn't erode in perpetuity, was that one of the conditions?
No.
Is that
So in the past, we've had other power company work where their, I believe it was operation and maintenance plans or some of their standard work practices sort of conflicted with our in perpetuity conditions, you know, whether it be mowing,
Yeah, or
Yeah.
herbicide use.
right, and herbicide use. So we were sort of left with a, you know, order of conditions that conflicted with what work to be done in some ways. So
understood? Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, putting anything in there that says we can't mow or do vegetation maintenance would not work in a right of way for me. I'm just trying to think if there was anything else in your old boilerplate from what you
is
used
it,
last time.
Mitch, are you able to pull that back up?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
like
one second.
numbers 73 and 74 and 76, could we say something like that's not in line with the approved vegetation maintenance plan and operation and maintenance plan or something like that? Like,
Yeah, I think that's how we clarified it last
Okay.
time.
like the VMP and the OMP. So as long as it's not already approved.
Right.
Yeah, so I could see that, excuse me, for 73, 74. 76. And
Wait,
70,
76 is different on my sheet. That has pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, and fertilizers. We must have deleted that one.
Hmm.
I'm on the
What-
draft.
What's
Okay, I'm
different?
looking at the old one.
I'm on the draft OOC, special conditions.
yeah, I thought I was too, but
From the 2022 NOI file number 1680351.
I think that's the current, yeah.
Am I in the wrong one?
Oh,
like
we're
there
on different
was no
ones.
76.
Okay,
Yeah,
Thank
so the
you.
old one, right, the new one, I'm sorry, the draft for this particular project has 2 more conditions, and I think you just found one of the ones that was removed from, or didn't exist rather in the old one. So, yeah, so 76 looks like it wasn't in the previous OOC, maybe for this very reason, but
we could
First-
say, I mean, we could just say that, you know, like outside the approved VMP and OMP.
right, yeah, I think that's, I think just adding that note to any of these that potentially conflict with future work is
Yeah,
sounds
right. Like
sufficient.
74 would, like, obviously the mowing thing, we can't include that where it's right away.
Yeah,
Those are new.
does say within wetlands, but still, yeah.
Right, yeah. But in the future, there may be mowing in wetlands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And
and I'm
then-
sure I'm sure your vegetation maintenance plan and your operation and maintenance plans both have, you know, a special section for resource areas and,
Right, exactly. Yep. being
And that's
like,
been
"You
approved
have
by
to
other
obtain
issuing
permits
authorities."
before you can do this and all those fun things. So,
right,
Yep.
so as long as like some other issuing authority is reviewing and approving those. I mean. That doesn't include our ordinance, but. I don't know, I think I'm still okay with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just change the wording to match the clarifications we made last time. I think that works for everyone.
yep.
Mhm.
And just to be clear, Mitch, that was for the changes last time was essentially just adding the note about the ongoing maintenance plans.
It was to allow mowing according to the plan that was they submitted,
Right,
and that pesticide use didn't apply to right-of-way areas because it's not our jurisdiction.
right, okay.
I think that's MDR, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that specific case. Okay, so just to clarify, I think it's, Mitch, maybe this is what you were saying, but I think it would be most straightforward, given our conversation tonight, to just add, to keep those conditions in there and add except as needed in, or as stipulated in the OMP, the applicant's OMP or something like that.
Yeah,
the
yeah, I'll keep it in
BMP.
there, just change the language a little bit.
Okay, great. All right.
But yeah, that's my only note.
Got it. So far we've talked about adding making sure the reference to the NHESP letter is in there up at the top, and adding the letter itself to the OOC, and then adding a exception language to the in perpetuity conditions where they potentially conflict with the maintenance plan. And I feel like, am I missing one thing? Or those it? I think that might have been it. All right, so I think we're good motion, or bring up a new question here.
Doesn't look like anybody from the public is here, so.
Good point.
I don't know if we're ready for a motion or.
I think so. Oh no, am I allowed to motion as a chair? Actually, I'm not sure.
You are
Yeah.
allowed.
You are allowed.
Got it.
Travis just doesn't want to dominate the discussion.
Yeah, no, I've heard that's the recommended role for chair, is to guide more than actually provide the content. But let's see. All right, I will make a motion to issue an order of conditions for DEP file number 1680351, Oregon Power Project on Health Camp Road, with all standard special conditions, and additionally including the NHESP letter regarding the project in the recorded documentation, and also adding exceptions for ongoing maintenance plans to in perpetuity conditions where they conflict.
I'll second that.
All right. Seconded by Kristen. Let's do a roll call vote here.
I mentioned one thing.
Oh, sorry, go ahead, Mitch.
I would just give a reminder to check some of these boxes. This is what we did last time.
Uh-huh.
For the interest of the act.
So we're in BLSF, riverfront area, BVW, but not land underwater, correct?
That's right, not this time.
That looks good to me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's not working in the river, but I believe part of our public water supply or backup water supply is, oh no, wait, I'm sorry. Is this the blank? Is this the north or the green? I'm blanking on that.
The
the
green
green,
or
right?
the Deerfield? I forget too.
No, it's, I think it's the green or the north.
Okay,
This is the green here.
Okay,
Don't worry, I know
Um,
we've also done work on the North River too, so.
right,
understand.
right. So in that
mean-
sense, I would say that it could impact that, but it's not, the work isn't in it.
yeah, so like, that's a good question, Fletcher. So I mean, yeah, if you're in riverfront and BLSF to land containing shellfish, do you check that? I don't know. I mean, there is absolute, without question, endangered freshwater mussels in that reach. Do we? But it's not inland underwater.
Did you include it last time? I don't think you did.
I don't know.
This is from last time, isn't it, Mitch?
Oh, I might lie. Sorry.
Yeah, this is
Yeah, this is
it's last time.
July.
Okay, I mean, I don't think that this is going to change anything regarding conditions or compatibility with the plan as is, but the specific language is the areas in which work is proposed is significant too. And I would say, given that the Green River does transport drinking water, at least upstream there, that it's significant to it. So maybe public water supply should be checked there.
I'm okay with that.
Okay. All right, so just to clarify the motion, that additional areas of impact will be checked on the special conditions, including public drinking water. And Mitch, what else was added here, if any? Did you add any additional? I didn't see what was previously checked.
I'm just pulling it up.
Okay.
But that's the one we added from last time.
Okay. Yeah, good call on going back to that. All right, so then that completes the motion. And I'll do a roll call vote. Erica,
Aye.
Kristen,
I,
and I'm also an aye, so that passes. All right. Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you guys very much. Have a good night.
You too. Oh.
Mitch, I will send you the location for I want you to send the order of conditions.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Yep.
I
Thank you.
was gonna say, let's not send it to my house this time because it took way too long to get here last time. So
Okay.
I will email you the location that you should send it if that's okay.
Yep, that sounds good.
Great.
you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great night.
Good
You
night.
too. All right. That's our only public hearing. Other business, we have an emergency certification on Barton Road that was issued. Mitch, did you have any updates on the conversation back and forth?
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth, but eventually
Okay.
we had decided to issue it.
Okay. Did,
And I can pull that up, but I
okay,
think we're just looking for ratification.
yep. Did,
I can pull up the conditions we decided on.
what did DPW think of our question? Like, in other words, was there an information exchange, or was it more of like a, well, we really need to do this, so?
Yeah, and it was just kind of settling on the extent, and
Mhm.
they're not going to extend the guardrail at all. They're just going to use the minimum amount of riprap because they have to stabilize the bank with it in order to get the guardrail in place.
Mhm. Got it.
Had they already done the work? I thought it said that they had already,
Um,
or something like that, they had started, or,
They might have started since then. I haven't heard any updates, but I issued the emergency certification so they can start.
so when it comes to an emergency cert, we don't have to have it ratified before they can start. It's just
No, it's, yeah,
administrative. approval.
ratified
Okay,
retroactively.
gotcha. Okay, thank you.
All right.
Do you want me to pull up the
Yeah, if
conditions?
you would.
Mostly about erosion and soil stabilization. Only the minimum amount of riprap needed to secure the guardrail. Yeah, we went back and forth a bit. Travis actually met Alan out there, and I guess he said he misunderstood the project.
Who, Alan or Travis?
Travis did.
Oh.
So he was glad to understand it better.
Mhm. Was it, the site just wasn't quite as it appeared in the photos, or
Yeah, I guess so.
maybe there was more bank than, because it looked like the bank just sort of went right into the stream, but maybe that wasn't the case. It's hard to see how it was going to hold riprap.
Mhm. Any questions, or should we motion to ratify?
I don't, I'm just taking a quick look at something,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I would not oppose a motion in the meantime.
All right, I'll make a motion to ratify the emergency order for the DBW project, the guardrail.
Kristen, have you had a chance to look at what you wanted to look at?
Yeah, 1 second. I just want to pull up a
Yeah, yeah.
topo. I'm like quickly doing mass mapper here.
Mhm.
It looks like it's not a perennial stream. It's not a DFW cold water fisheries resource. It's not mapped habitat. I'm good with it. I'll second that, Erica.
Okay, seconded by Kristen. Do a roll call vote. Erica,
Aye.
Kristen,
Aye.
and I'm an aye. So that has been ratified. All right. And I think we all sort of agreed that the next thing on the agenda, the ordinance review, would be shelved until we had more commissioners present. So, Mitch, did you have any other updates or enforcement updates or anything like that?
I sent the plant list to Plain Road.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into, I was talking about the homeless people
Mm-hmm.
cutting down trees by the river.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's Eversource owned property, so I'm just trying to get in contact with someone from there.
Okay.
Those are my updates.
Got it. So 286 Plain Road has the plant list, and next
Yeah,
step
he-
is for him to select.
Yeah,
his-
he should
his
get back to
planting
us
and-
on his
Okay.
plan. Yep.
Great.
And he's supposed to get back to us with his selections before he does anything? Is that how we left it?
I think so.
I think so too. Worth
Isn't-
double checking, but
Okay, that was
Yeah.
kind of the sticking point last time. That was when we read the thing with what we had said. He was supposed to get back to us with what he wanted, and then we would come out and take a look or whatever. And
right. And in his version, we were supposed to send someone out.
right,
It sounds like maybe both were true.
right,
But we are, seeing it slightly differently. So I think we're confident in this case that next deliverable is him coming to us with what he's chosen.
right.
And then,
Before, yeah, before he
Oh,
does
go ahead.
anything.
Yeah.
I was just saying, before he plants this time, he
Yeah,
kind of
Before he buys them, preferably.
Right,
A
Right.
proposal,
Right.
yeah. So Mitch, you can clarify that in your, oh, I'm sorry, you already sent them, right?
I sent them, yeah.
Okay,
But I can touch base with them.
okay. I think that'd be good. All right, so that completes our agenda.
Was there any follow-up on the guy who cut the trees down and was supposed to remove the fill that he had brought
Not
in?
yet, but he has time. I think we said
Yeah, I think it was
February.
All right. Yeah. Take a motion or,
motion to
Good.
adjourn.
oh,
second.
I always beat you, Erica.
all right. Motion to adjourn, seconded by Erica. Any objections to adjourning? All right, that's passed. All right, everybody. Nice, good efficiency tonight. We made it through. And hopefully Travis isn't getting it too bad here.